Hey guys, what's up? Chris Zoupa here. Lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the solo from Not Alone by All That Remains. It is quite weird. It was very difficult to figure out some of the patterns, so hopefully some of you are already trying to learn this and I will relieve you of the horrendous difficulty that is this weird tappy lick in the middle. Anyway, let's take a look. Alright guys, before we get too excited, we just need to talk about the tuning, which is D standard, which goes D, G, C, F, A, D. So get yourself a tune and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's have a look at the first section. I want to start off with the semitone bend on 16 of the 3rd string. I'm going to bring it down, and then I'm going to slide from 14 to 12 on the same string. So all together. At the end of that, I'm going to resolve that to the 14. At the end of that, I'm going to work into this phrase. So it looks like a pretty diatonic shred. It isn't 3 notes per string, it's actually 4 now. What makes this a little bit confusing is I'm going to work through a 3 note per string pattern but hit the 3rd note twice. So I'm going to play 14, 15, 17, 17 on the 5th string. And I'm going to jump to the 4th and do the same thing, 14, 15, 17, 17. And then from the 3rd string, 14, 16, 17, 17. Hopefully that's making sense. I kind of think of it as just sort of a, if I was in standard tuning, a B Lockerian shape. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got thus far. Okay, hopefully that's making sense. Then we'll move on to the next bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the 16 up again, bring it down for a light vibrato, then I go back to 14. At the end of that I want to work into this phrase. So what I've got there is I'm bending 17 up and back on the 3rd string, and then I'm doing a hammer-on into a pull-off going 14, 16, 14 on the 3rd. So we've got, at the end of that, just vibratoing the 16. So that last chunk, that's pretty much the whole section. So let's take it slowly from the top. One more time, some taps. Okay, so the second section, this is probably the craziest bit in the whole solo. It's where we work through the taps and a lot of left hand hammer-ons, which is actually really strange and a little bit of a sensation that's quite crazy to do. So we're going to start off by tapping 12 of the 6th string, and then I'm going to hammer on sort of a sus2 or a stacked 5th chord, if you will. So I'm going to do a tap from 12 on the 6th string and pull off to 5. And then after that, I'm going to play 7 of the 5th and 9 of the 4th with the rest of my left hand. So I'm just going to be doing a tap and then 3 notes on my left hand. And that's going to be the majority of this section, tap and then 3 notes on your left hand. The next group I do, I'm going to tap 12 of the 4th string, and then I'm going to pull off to 5 and then hammer to 7 on that. This one's a little bit less weird because we get a hammer on in there on the same string. And then I want to hammer to 9 of the 3rd. I think it's this hammer on from nowhere to a new string with the pinky, which happens to be the biggest pain in the ass of this whole thing. So let's take it slowly what we've got. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play 12 of the 3rd string and then pull off to 5 and hammer to 7. And then my pinky's going to hit 8 of the 2nd string. We're going to have one more group and then we'll go into some more entertaining tapping. I'm going to tap 12 and then pull off to 5 and hammer to 6. and then I jump to 8 of the first string. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far. Hopefully that's making sense. I want to go into this. So what I'm doing here is I'm tapping 12 and then pulling off to 5 and hammering to 8. And I want to do that and then do exactly the same idea but with a tap from 10. I'm going to do that phrase twice. Then a similar phrase on the second string, but I'm going to play 13, pull off to 5 and hammer to 8. And then do a tap from 12 and hammer 5, 8. We're going to do that idea twice as well. So from the last two bits, let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start, and then we'll do the second half of the section. Hopefully that's making sense. So now that we've got our head around that idea, the second half shouldn't be too weird to deal with. I want to tap 15 of the 6th string, and now my stacked 5th or sus2 chord, if you will, is going to play 8 of the 6th, 10 of the 5th, and then 12 of the 4th. Okay, the next thing that I do, I'm going to tap 14 and then pull off to hammer 9, 10 on the 4th string. And then my pinky is going to hammer on to 12 of the 3rd. So all together. Okay, the next one that I do, I'm going to tap 14 of the 3rd string, pull off 9 and hammer to 12. This time I'm using pointer to ring because I need my pinky to hit 13 of the 2nd string, and that is an absolute pain in the ass to play. So gather up all your rage and put it into that pinky. Okay, the last chunk of this little group is going to tap 15 of the 2nd string, and then I'm going to hammer 8 to 10 on the 2nd, and then jump to 12 of the 1st. So let's have a look at the 4 new little chunks of the second half of this. Okay, to finish that off, I want to tap 15 on the 1st string, and then it's going to hammer on from 8 to 12. And I do the same thing from 17. And I want to do that idea twice. And then the same thing on the 2nd string. So that one's a little bit more predictable than the first half. That's pretty much the whole section. So let's take it slowly from the start, and then we'll do it again once again. We'll do it again even slower since tabs. Here we go. One more time, some tabs. Alright guys, let's have a look at the last section. This is where it gets a little bit riffy. I want to start from 9 of the 3rd and the 4th string, and then I go to 10 of the 4th string. Okay, after that, I've got a different root note, so I'm going an octave below that original note I had. I'm going to play 7 of the 5th, and then 9, 10 on the 4th. So all together, that was 9, 10 on the 14. Okay, then I work into this phrase. This is sort of going through a different variation, I guess, of a sus2 chord. I'm playing 10 of the 5th with my pinky, and then I'm playing 7 of the 4th, the 3rd, and then the 4th again with my pointer there. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far. Okay, at the end of that, I'm going to chuck a flat ring in there on 9th fret of the 3rd string and also play the 4th string. So we've got... At the end of that, I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm going to play 12 of the 3rd string, 10 of the 4th, and then 9 of the 3rd string. So I'm going from that, cheeky major arpeggio, and then I'm going to play 12, 13, and then give 13 some delicious vibrato love when I get there. Alright, let's do what we have of this section thus far slowly, and then we'll work on the second half. Okay, hopefully that's making sense. The second half is equally riffy. I want to start from 10 of the 5th string, and then I'm going to play 7 to 9 on the 3rd. And then I'm going to play 7 of the 4th, and then 7, 9 on the 3rd again. So it'll go. So there we go with that, and then it works into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm going to play 9, 10 on the 4th string, and then jump to 12 of the 3rd. And from there, I'm going to play 9 of the 4th, and then 10 of the 2nd. So I'll go. And then from there, this is a little bit of an awkward change. I'm going to play 9 of the 4th, 12 of the 2nd, and then jump to 12 of the 4th. So you'll notice that my wrist and hand does twist quite a bit there. So let's do that last chunk a little bit slowly. Okay, and the end of that will work into this phrase. So I'm going to play 12 of the 3rd string. You'll notice that I've jumped quite a large hand position there, so I'm starting this from my pointer finger. I'm going to play 12 of the 3rd string, then 15 of the 2nd, and I bend that up, and I bring it down. So I've got a regular 15, a bent 15, and then another regular 15. At the end of that, I'm just vibratoing that 17. You can sort of get a bit of a bendy pulse with it as well. I'm sort of going up and down twice with that if you want to be really, really specific. So let's have a look at just the second half of the section, and then we'll put it all together. Alright, let's slow it down. Let's go right from the start, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time, some tabs. And that was the solo from Not Alone by All That Remains. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all very soon.